is absolute craziness in some spots. We're here in Norwich. This is right along the New London Turnpike. We were by Clinton Avenue, crazy over there, and crazy over here as well with this river really causing issues. We've got a nice up-close view of this river. So this is the river. You can see those rushing waters, how high that river is. And then there are a ton of businesses around here as well. This is right by the Stop and Shop parking lot, the Planet Fitness, the Dominos. So take a walk with me right here. This is a parking lot, and look at how crazy this is. The water's so high, turning this into a body of water. You can see these nearby businesses. One of those, a Dominos, and we actually just saw a few minutes ago, fire crews out here, they had to make a rescue. Take a look at some of this video. Some guys were stuck inside of that building. They had to come out with a rescue boat, get those guys out of there. Luckily, everybody is out at this point. Everybody is okay, but just a crazy situation when you take a drive around town, what we're seeing in terms of the floodwaters out here. Joining us now, we have the family of one of those guys who was stuck in that Domino, Shiloh, along with all of their kids. Guys, thank you so much for speaking with us. Shiloh, tell us about how this happened. Obviously very terrifying.
It is terrifying. We weren't expecting this much water because when it rained a couple weeks ago, it was only inches. So we definitely were not expecting this. And my husband came at 6 a.m. this morning when our landlord told us that it was flooding, and he came to see the damages, and then they just kind of got stuck in there because the water is rushing so fast. But yeah, it's heartbreaking. And
how fast has this been happening? I mean, they were in the building, and all of a sudden, I imagine the water just rises.
It was rising by feet, just very quickly, yeah.
How long have you lived in town for?
Me and my husband grew up here our whole life, yeah.
And put this into perspective, I mean, it's crazy as you drive around town, no power, all the flooding issues. How bad is this compared to other storms?
This is the worst that I've seen by far, yeah, definitely.
So right now the relief settling in now that he's out of the store, hopefully going to be reunited with him soon. The kids, everybody here, very relieved, right?
Yeah. The keys are stuck in the door.
Yeah, you mentioned the keys stuck in the door. There's another issue. This is the truck right here behind us, your truck, right?
Yes.
And
truck.
you can't move it because the keys, if you take a walk right here at the building, let's walk over here, you can see the keys are stuck on the door there, and you can't reach that given the fact that the water is so high right now. We're literally rushing past the doorway. I'm sorry?
Those are the only keys.
Those are the only keys to the car.
Yeah. Yes.
So the goal now is to wait to get the water down and get the keys out so we can move the truck.
Now is trying to get the truck out so that, because as long as we get the truck out, it's fine. Because we could just get it a different key from the company we got it from. So.
Take it one step at a time. So we got the guys out of the Dominos. That's the good news to report right now. Now we got to deal with the key situation, getting the truck out of here. But all around town, guys, it's crazy. It's seriously crazy. Some spots what we're seeing in terms of the flooding along this river. I will send it back to you in the studio.
Angelo, I don't know if you can answer this question because you'd need to have an eye in the sky. But you've been around. Can you tell us how expansive the flooding is? Like, how far away from the banks of the river are we seeing this level of flooding? Is it still a relatively narrow area, or is it widened out a lot? Can you answer that for us?
Based on what we've been seeing, I mean, we haven't been extensively around town, but it seems like the flooding is kind of localized to where the river is. So the river is right there, and we're seeing this flooding coming out, again, stretching across this parking lot. But there's a road, if you look up and come over here, those houses right there, doesn't come up that far. So it's very much centralized to where the banks of the river are positioned in terms of the flooding. That was the same case over by Clinton Avenue. The river was right there, and that's where the flooding was. So hopefully that's the case in other spots around the city. But that's what we're seeing based on what we are looking at right now.
Well, thanks. Real quick before you go, wondering if you can give us a little bit more perspective. How far is the Stop and Shop? Because that's a busy area, busy shopping area for folks who are watching at home.
Yeah, this is a whole shopping plaza. So you could see the sign right there, a bunch of different businesses here. We've got a Big Lots, we've got a Dollar Tree, nail salon, the Stop and Shop, and right there, that's the Planet Fitness, the Big Lots right next to that, the Dominos right here. And the entire city right now is basically in a standstill. A lot of these places without power because they had to shut that down because of the dam issues. We passed by gas stations that are just empty. The power's off. People can't get gas right now. And if you take a look right here in the parking lot, I mean, people are coming out and taking the scenes in because it's so crazy. So the entire city right now is basically at a standstill. And again, this is a huge, huge shopping plaza. We read off some of the names of these businesses, and to see a parking lot like this just swallowed by water is crazy. It's crazy to see.
Okay, Angelo, thank you. And of course, as you're showing us this, we're hearing of problems in Bavaro, not that far away at Fitfield Pond Dam, some roads have been evacuated at this point. Stockhouse Road. Thank you, Bill Welcome, our producer, for telling us that too. So this is a problem. And then to say nothing of the power outages, which are sitting at about 3,000 statewide and haven't really budged much.
Yeah, Angelo, question for you. If you've heard from people in town where people are sort of going to stage, if they're without power, if they have questions, is there a sort of central staging area in that area in Norwich for people to go?
Yeah, I have not heard any details on that front. It seems like this took a lot of these people by surprise, honestly. We've been speaking with a lot of these neighbors who were out here. We spoke with that gentleman over by Clinton Avenue. He was just driving around going to his mother-in-law's house, and he got stuck in this. These people, you heard them say, it just took them by surprise. So we haven't heard of any staging areas where people are going to get away from this stuff. But it seems like that's going to have to be dealt with. Plans going to have to be put into place as these issues pop up. I think it took a lot of people by surprise.
Yeah.
Angelo, thank you. We do appreciate that reporting. We certainly hope everybody is safe there and that those keys don't get washed away
Right.
if the water level rises.
And you stay safe too.